Okay, so I filmed a whole intro in the car from work to the gym, and when I turned on the mic and the receiver that on the camera, they were both on, but they didn't connect. I didn't realize, so there was no audio in that. So we're just gonna film a quick one now and kind of touch on how the workout went and what happened, because this is being filmed after the workout now. I was sitting down to do my outro clip and decided to load up the clips I got from my intro and the gym, and then I listened to it and no sound. So here we are. Today was another upper day so the program said deadlifts. I ended up doing rack pulls. Reason why is because I wanted a little more focus on the back, the lower back and the upper back, without a huge fatiguing, deadlifts. Deadlifts are pretty hard on the lower back, and having the lower back issues about, a month or two ago now, and then recovering from that, and then being sick and coming back into everything, just felt like I could pick up some decent weight, but not through the deadlift. So I decided to do rack pulls. I got up to 3 plates, which is great, but I just wouldn't have gotten that. I wouldn't have done 3 plates with the deadlift. So I think it was a good trade-off. I still hit the back, and honestly, you hit a little bit of hamstrings in rack pulls too. I'm not saying they're a great movement for rack pulls or anything, or rack pulls are a great movement for hamstrings or anything. Just that they do hit your hamstrings a little bit. Mine are feeling a little tight and stuff, and I didn't hit anything hamstring. So anyway, great lift. Got decently heavy with the sets of the rack pulls, and then we did a little bit more shoulder stuff, and what else? Oh, and some side bends, and actually we did some loaded suitcase carries, where you're holding a weight on one side of your body, and you're trying to stay upright while you walk. It's kind of cool. You get kind of heavy, and it turns into a pretty decent workout. It's kind of like farmer's carries. You're just holding a weight in only one side instead of both. Sorry, I'm still a little congested. So, workout went great. I felt pretty good the whole time. And honestly, going back to the deadlift and the rack pull thing, when I was warming up, I started feeling my lower back not being in the best. It just wasn't 100%, and that's another reason why I backed off into the rack pull, because I just figured I could be a little more, I could baby the lower back a little more, but still be working it. So we got legs tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure there is back extensions tomorrow too, somewhere at the end. So I'm gonna do those and keep working on the lower back, and hopefully keep getting stronger down there, and I can move into doing full on deadlifts and not be worried all the time. Anyway, I do want to touch on, I'm pretty sure in my intro video, the one with no sound, I was touching on how you can balance intensity in your workouts, and when is a good time to put more volume in there, or higher load, or kind of go off program. So I've never, until now, and maybe one other time, I've never had a full-on strict program I followed. So I'd always follow a split, if that's push-pull legs, the bro split, or upper lower, or what have you. I've had splits that I followed, that day was that, and then I just go in there and I figure it out. And typically, like, you can kind of know your main lifts. But I've never had a program that I wrote or has been written for me that I full on had every movement down and the sets and reps, which is great. It's really nice. I don't have to think about anything. I just come in and do it. The only caveat to that is unless you, like, I go off the RAR chart, so you can make it more challenging by just the load, how you feel. But sometimes you don't necessarily feel like 100% in increasing the intensity, but you like adding more load to the bar, but you feel more energized and like you just feel like you can do more volume. So not necessarily that you can lift a lot more, but you can lift for more reps. Like I don't know if you're following what I'm trying to say, but sometimes it's okay to add these little pieces in. Like if you need to do an extra few reps or maybe one other set and it's not going to hinder your recovery going forward, might as well do it. Like say one of the movements I did today was I only did 2 sets of hip airplanes on both sides of my body. But say I was really feeling the movement and I was feeling really good in my hips and maybe opening me up. Say I did like 4 or 5 sets. Like if I did that, I probably would have been fine because tomorrow it's not really going to hinder my leg day. I mean, my hips might get a little more work, but it's not like it's going to be a full-on hindrance to whatever movement I have for my legs. And or take like, say you have 3 sets of 12 like leg raises and in your core, and you just feel like you get 1 or 2 more sets, the same thing, and then you have like arms the next day or chest the next day, and your core comes into play, but your like specifically abs aren't gonna do a huge number on your freaking curls, right? So might as well do it if you feel like you can do it and you want to do it. Where I would say don't push it is like if I changed up, say I did the deadlifts today and I have a leg day tomorrow. Say I changed the deadlifts to like a full, like actually just say I did hard like deadlifts, but I was doing it in more of a squat form, maybe like with the trap bar, and then I added like 2 or 3 more sets at the same weight that I was doing for my 4x5. Say I added a lot more to that, and then I have a fully fatigued hip joint area, and maybe my glutes or my hammies are just fried, and I have freaking RDLs tomorrow or something. Like it's like if you're following, just don't do things that hinder the recovery, but it's okay to add things or go off menu as long as it doesn't interfere with everything coming forward, because you have to look at training and like your goal, and this goes for like the training actually goes for anything in life. You have to look at everything as a whole. So like the next, say 3 months, you have to look at the next 3 months, and your results will come from the average of those 3 months. It's not like your today is going to determine what your end result is 3 months down or 6 months down or a year down. It's not going to determine that. I mean, unless you get like freaking injured or something. But like a normal workout, like one normal workout is not going to make the difference. And just like food, like one salad or one chicken and rice isn't going to make the difference. It's the compounding effect of doing it all the time, and then your results come from the average of what you did. So with that, keep your intensity high, even if that's where you have to back off the load and add some volume, or if you've got to stick to the plan solidly and like just give it all the intensity you can, and the effort will average out, and that's what you'll get from your results. So what I'm trying to say here is that overall, we want to make sure that we're doing all the work we can, we're putting in the effort and intensity, but we're not going overboard to ruin our recovery for the next lift or the next session or whatever we're doing, because we need to make sure that all these stack together and have the end result that we want. And this goes for recovery too. Like, take your rest days and your recovery times serious. Like, treat them like you treat training. Like, treat your food like you treat training. Treat your resting, do your sauna, whatever you do to rest and like for recovery and stuff. Take it serious, because that also compounds. Like, sleep. Get enough sleep, because that will compound. If your average is 8 to 9 hours of sleep, and you have the off days of like 6 and 5 sometimes, that's okay, because the average will pay off. That's what matters. It's kind of like how everything just is a big picture. It's not just the one workout. It's not the one plate of food. It's everything. All right. Well, hopefully I articulated that the right way, because I felt like that was kind of a mess. But that's kind of what I was talking about in my first intro in the car, and the tangent I went off on. So I tried to emulate the same thing I talked about, because that's what I was on. Probably not coming out as well, because in that moment I was kind of like feeling it. But oh well.